Hello everybody, and welcome back to the second part of our first Dominaria United Best of One Draft League. Before we get into the other matches, I wanted to quickly do a channel State of the Union. Any day now, I'm slated to get over 1,000 views total on the channel, which is a lot more than I ever thought I would get. My watch time is reaching, well, actually it's gone over 100 now. And that's a whole lot more than I was expecting to get as well. Overall, things have been pretty wild, and it's been only actually less than a month. Everything's performing quite nicely, and I'm pretty proud. I mean, it's pretty humble, 15 subs, plus 7 over the last 28 days, but I really didn't expect anything when I started this, because it's really just a hobby. I enjoy playing Magic, and I think it'd be cool if the people around me, and maybe some internet strangers, enjoyed it too, and we could enjoy it together and learn. So without any further ado, we're going to get into our first match of the second video here. We did a nice 2-1 in the first video. It should pop up on the screen. If not, I'll just have it in the description anyway. We had a really good match 1, where we won quite handily with Tatiova. Match 2, we mulled a 5 and then just got out aggroed. And match 3 was very interesting. We got double mind rotted, but still ended up taking the W after our opponent just fiddled around for too long. And we got too much value off of, once again, I think Tatiova. But I'm going to go ahead and pause it here, and I'll see y'all in the match. Yeah, not really a whole lot of players in the best of one league. I might end up just moving over to Arena. I know I don't really like the client that much, and I think the monetization model is even more bad than this one is. Just very exploitative. But at the end of the day, like, it's a question of whether or not I even have time to wait for queues to fire and pods to get going, because it happens almost instantaneously on the new client, and on this old one people tend to prefer the best of 3 format, which is cool and all, but like, if my goal is to draft as many times as possible, best of ones are a little bit better for me. We have won the die roll and we're going to take it. I still haven't managed to get a perfect bead on exactly how to make these card sizes work. Obviously, I don't want it to be this small. We're going to keep this hand, though. We do have 3 lands, some pretty powerful spells. And I think we start out with the Idyllic Beachfront, since we have the Forest on turn 2 to cast our Snare Spinner. If my opponent doesn't appear to be in aggressive colors, I might just play out the tap land anyway. I don't really think they're going to punish us too bad. Yeah, Basic Swamp's not really the most aggressive. So, I mean, that does... There could be a lot of different things, but I don't really, I don't think I have to rush out the Snare Spinner right now. I'll just play out the Radiant Grove. Well, if we ever get our turn back anyway, I guess I'll give it a pause. Oh, also, I've heard some complaints that I talk a little bit slowly, especially during the set reviews. I will not be at all offended if you put the video up to 1.5 speed. That's just how some people want to watch videos, and that's a-okay with me. Yeah, we didn't draw another land, so I'm just going to play out the tap land here. Draw step. Double swamp. Toxic Bomb? Yeah, that's fine with me. We're just going to play out the Llanowar Green Warden. If they kill it, we'll just get it back later. Little unfortunate that we're still missing on that land. I mean, I do need to draw spells eventually. 8 mana, we have 3 basic land types, so when we get to 5 mana, we can do that again. Just get it back. This is not a removal spell. It's just going to make a 2-1. They can crash in with it if they want to. I will be blocking the Toxic A-Bomb if they choose to attack. Yep. We're going to just go ahead and toss this out. Take that block while we have it. Play out the Snare Spinner if we don't have anything else. Okay. Now we can play out the Nail or the Magnagoth Sentry. Both of them block pretty well here. I don't really have one I want to live more than the other. I guess I want this one to be able to attack next turn, possibly. So I'll just go ahead and play it out. Oh yeah, I have to cast the spell the right way instead of just messing around. I mean, I clearly have the mana, but I guess if I wanted to do all the hard work for me, I should be playing Arena, shouldn't I? I don't know what it is about these best of ones, but I really feel like... do we block here? Feel like... Oh, they're just not going to attack? Oh, this is Bone Splinters. I see. Yeah. I guess I should have seen that one coming. That's okay. They have 3 cards. We have a lot of good stuff down the pipeline. Now, we could just play out the Snare Spinner and cast a Threats Undetected. And honestly, I think that might be my game plan here. So we have 1, 2, 3 basic land types right now, but I still think that that it might be correct to just try and get the Sojourner for my 4. Actually, no, we don't even have the Black Source. So yeah, for our 4, we'll take the Phalanx or the Sojourner. Sojourner is going to cost 8 minus 3, 5 mana. Argivian Phalanx is definitely going to cost less than that. We'll take that. The Elfheim Worm, another Snare Spinner, and a Tatiova. And we'll see what kind of decisions they make from that. They're all fine cards. We're just going to be drawing 2 creatures no matter what. I've been very impressed with this card so far. It's like a divination that's guaranteed to hit spells. It's like a perfect top deck as well. Like, just imagine you get to the... Oh, wow. They're gonna give me that. That means they're hoping to aggro me out here. We do need to start drawing some mana. However, we can play out the Tatiova, and 2 if we draw one next turn, depending on the colors. We definitely have choices and options. Well, okay, our opponent's just gonna go to combat. Just fine with me. Gonna block the Haster. Actually, I'll block the Cult Conscript, because the Haster's going away anyway. Yeah. I mean, that's just a 1-for-1. I'm fine with that. That doesn't really bother me much. I mean, it is one of the few ways in this deck that they're actually going to get use out of their little shock, basically. Ooh, that's pretty good. Do I have the double blue? I sure do. So we'll... I guess we play out the Magnagoth Sentry. I'd like to play out the Tatiova once I actually have the land. To make our immediate 3-3. But now we have a Magnagoth Sentry. We just have, like, all good creatures. And eventually they will have to run out of removal. Or maybe not. I mean, who knows? Toxic A-Bomb's not really a card I'm afraid of. It even evens up the life total. and we're very much ahead on cards. Okay. We are going to block. If they have another shock, well, that'll just be unfortunate. They don't. That's a-okay with me, and we'll just play out another Magnagoth Sentry. No reason to do anything else. Now, we don't have any removal, so there's definitely ways that we can get kind of messed up here. Timely interference is good, but it's not a guarantee. It's just a 3/3 flyer? Garna, okay. Well, I do need to find a way to deal with that Garna. Otherwise, they are going to start dealing me 3 a turn, possibly? It's pretty gross. Yeah, I guess we'll just take 3 for now. Try and draw some removal for that thing. We could also try to race it. We do have the Shalai's Acolyte. There's a Haunted Mire. That's our red. If we could get the kicker on the timely interference, we could definitely make bad things happen to that creature right there. Do I play out the Tatiova or do I just play out the Shalai's Acolyte? I think I play out the Tatiova. But first we go to combat. Go on the beatdown plan. See if they'd like to block. I mean, if they're not going to block, I am actually advantaged. Yeah. I mean, if they try to attack with the Garna here, that could go very poorly for them. And the attack with the Sentry makes the life totals roughly comparable. I think they might have a very aggressive attack here, which would be fine with me. My plan currently is to just take like 6. Try to kill the Garna with the Sentry and the timely interference, and then not do anything with the Tatiova. Actually, I think I will be blocking the 2/1. Okay. So, we're going to block here. We're going to block here. Yeah. They do get to cash in their token for a creature, but they're not like in the free and clear here. They do have to find a way to actually win the game because my board state will just block. Okay, well, we do get a creature. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know why. If they get Toxic A-Bomb, that'll be just another 2 life down the tubes. And if we get the flyer next turn, we're like really on the beatdown plan. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why they kicked this card. Just seems like a bad plan. Well, are they saying oopsie in the chat? They're going to get the conscript back, and now it's going to die at the end of the turn. Okay, I mean, they could deal me 1. Sure. We're doing pretty okay on time, we're roughly even. They're gonna deal me 1 damage here, thanks to the sacrifice on the conscript. And then they, I think, still on their end step will have a chance to put it back on the battlefield. Yeah. Okay, they didn't do it. Now what? we can play out the Shalai's Acolyte, leave up Timely Interference, and do we attack all? Maybe. What can that crack us back with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a pretty good amount of damage. There are definitely cards that kill me there, but they would need specifically removal spell, and something else. Also, I could just play out the Elfheim Worm. It is slightly less removal prone, I guess. Not really, but it does have a... actually, I think Shalai's Acolyte has a higher chance of getting in next turn. Question is, do we attack with Tatiova this turn? I think we do. We're going to start with a right-click attack all. See exactly what their plan is about that. Oh, I also have the snares, the Llanowar Green Warden, and now I have 4 basic land types, so it's only 4 mana. So I can play out the Vohar, and also bring that back at instant speed. It's possible that they just forgot about it. Oh, it does come back into play tapped, so that is a bit of a problem. They're just going to throw a blocker in front and deal me 1. It's okay with me. Yeah, we'll just play out a Shalai's Acolyte. I can't kick it. But we still have the Timely Interference, which so far has not really gotten there. This is their big turn. This is the turn where they need to actually... Oh, this is the turn where they need to concede, I guess. Well, we'll just move on to the next one. That was what? 17 minutes? Minus the 2 from the intro? Not bad, not bad. I don't know, something about these best of ones, it feels like that 15 minutes goes much, much quicker than you would think. Like, my timer, it feels like, is consistently reaching down a lot farther than it usually would in like a best of 3. But maybe that's because I've been playing so much Vintage Cube, and the game's just generally, you know what's happening. Everything's super duper simple. The decisions aren't that difficult to make. Okay, we have 3 basic land types, a Llanowar Green Warden, and a removal spell. I'll keep it. Hard to disagree with our natural Tron here. We're missing the blue mana for the Nael, but I think that's okay. Okay, yeah. Basic island, do nothing's fine with me. Ooh, that's a nice one. Not really doing anything for us now. That's okay. Hopefully they're gonna do nothing. Or play like a 2-drop that doesn't matter. Yeah, this is one thing I don't like to see because it feels like we're just gonna run face first into an Essence Scatter. So we'll start with Swamp, Snare Spinner, leave up the white, pretend we have some kind of combat trick. Essence Scatter? Yep, that's fine with me. The fact that they did counter a Snare Spinner, which is a pretty medium too, unless you're having flying creatures in your deck. Spells, yep, flying creature. Good news is, I still have a Llanowar Green Warden, right now. So we're just gonna go ahead and play out our 4/3 flyer. Now, I'm not expecting the Heavyweight to get through this, but if they attack, I'm not going to block. In mono blue specifically, there's not a lot that gets me here, but I could be forgetting something. Actually, I'm not forgetting something. No, there's nothing in mono blue. Phyrexian Espionage? Sure. Vanquisher's Axe, huh? Well, how greedy do I want to be? I think I'm going to play out the Vine Wall. Ooh, let me draw the Sunlit Marsh. If I get exactly untapped green source, I can hold up the bite down. But as it stands now, I think I just attack. And then if they try to equip, I just, bite down in response. The worst they could have, I think, is an instant speed bounce spell. But off the top of my head, I can't remember any. Also, there's a possibility that just equip Vanquisher's Axe doesn't even do anything. Put a stun counter on it, sure. Do we bite down that? I think so. Or do we just bite down this now? I think we can tussle with the 4/4 on the ground pretty good. What I don't want is them to have a blocker for the Nael. And this does have ward. But it does just trade for like any random dorky creature. Yep, we'll kill this. Pay the mana. 5 mana. I can't play the Nael, I forgot I don't have blue. But I can play the Elfheim Worm. And Elfheim Worm is just more beef on the ground. And I don't mind blocking with this. If they want to do something about it, that's a-okay. Because they're still at a bit of a life deficit. We have the Vortuk. So if for some reason this turn goes poorly for us, well, that's not going to go poorly for us. They can equip a Vanquisher's Axe if they want to, but I'm not really bothered by that. Rona's Vortex. Just, okay. They're just straight up pitching spells. Rona's Vortex is not very good if you don't have the Black Splash, but I guess they just want to throw damage in. Yeah, we'll take 4, but that just evens up the life totals. That doesn't actually kill me. Radiant Grove? Well, that does put us on 6, and it gives us still only 3 basic land types. So what I want to do is find a situation where this Llanowar Green Warden can go to the graveyard. And that does happen necessarily if I make the Pluriferous Vine Wall go onto the battlefield this turn. So I will do that. Ooh, that's a pretty nice one. Yeah, we'll play out an additional 2 basic land types. That's pretty sweet. So now if they like equip attack both, I'll just block the Flowstone. They only have 2 cards in hand. I'm not really worried about dying to like random creatures, but you never know. It is a game of Magic, anything can happen. This just another bounce spell? Oh, sure. That's a-okay with me. Yeah. Okay, so 3 cards in hand. It does make me wonder exactly what they have. But we are going to double block, like, this is kind of brainless for me. I don't get blown out by, timely interference. Sure? They're just gonna, oh yeah, sure. Kill a Vine Wall, it's fine by me. Vine Wall already got me a card. Yeah. Not really too bothered by that one. Oh, they're just gonna equip. That's fine by me. Yeah, nothing to do. We're just going to play out a Vortex Bone Rattle. And, you know, get back a 4-3 that has recursion. And then if they kill the green, the Green Widow again, I just get it back, but for real this time. Yeah. Pass turn. No big deal. This card is really powerful, by the way, the Green Widow. It turns out Bortic, also pretty powerful. Talus Lookout. That is a good card, but we're about to play a 2/4 flyer. So if they want to suit it up and attack into my Llanowar Green Widow, it's a-okay with me. Scout the Wilds, we can kick it now, but I think it's more important that we play out a land and just play a nail. And we will just attack for 4 here. I don't think we really care if they want to block. And if they don't block, they just go to 12. Removal spell would be bad, but like, it doesn't kill us or anything. And they just concede on the spot, yeah. Cool. So far we're 4 wins, 1 loss. Looking pretty okay. I definitely could have done better at the end there. I think I might have been able to get back the Green Widow if I had left up a green source, if they for some reason killed it. I keep forgetting that it does come back to the battlefield tap, so it's not a complete free roll, but like it is a good way to spend 3 mana if you have all 5 basic land types in play. Now, one of the cards that's kind of gone up quite a bit so far since I've been playing has been the Floriferous Green Wall. Maybe it's just because I haven't missed yet, and I think that's because it's 6 cards. The fact that it's 6 cards instead of 5, or like 4 or something, means it's pretty difficult to miss. But I'm telling you, the first time I need a land, and I play out that 0/2, and it does not find me a land, I'm going to never want to pick it again. But so far, it's been great. So far, only 1 as far as undefeated trophies. Which, I mean, I guess that makes some amount of sense. You do have to go 7-0. That's pretty difficult to do. But we may get to the 7 wins. It's definitely possible. All we need is a 3-1 record here, and we could get there. I've definitely done crazier things with worse decks. I'll go ahead and give it a pause here because our opponents are taking a little while, but I'll see y'all in the next match. Well, you know, we're in the game and we want to die roll again. We will take the play, and wouldn't you know it, we have a really good hand. We're going to keep it, and we're going to play out a turn 2. Deuterino over here. Play out the Molten Tributary first. Put the Fear of God in him, make him think that we're doing some aggro stuff. Oh, we have a 1-drop. Okay. I mean, it's a really bad 1-drop, but I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't like this card. I think if you add up all the stuff on it, it's just okay still. We're going to play out a Snare Spinner, and just like that, we have good blocks again. If they manage to kill our Snare Spinner, then our punishment is we start taking 1 a turn. That's not gonna do it. And their 1-drop has been nullified. So if they want to kill it, what they have to do is spend basically an entire turn pumping mana into it to trade with my 2-drop. And that is not really what you want to be doing with your 1. It's not the worst, but it's definitely not the best. I think here we're just going to cast a Threats Undetected. And we're going to go get ourselves, how many land types do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means Yavimaya Sojourner's 4 mana. We can cast a Tatiova. We can cast a Czar. We're going to get the Sojourner. We're going to get the Vine Wall. Tatiova and Elfhamworm or Vohar. We can cast a Vohar, but I don't know if we want to. Just take an Elfhamworm. And I have a feeling they're going to give us the Elfhamworm and the Floriferous Vine Wall. But who knows? Who knows? They could do anything. What I think they're more likely to do with their attack next turn is just enlist the help of the Viashino. Which is fine with me. I mean, if the best thing this thing's doing is giving another creature +1/+1 until end of turn, or rather +1/+0, that is a perfectly fine use of their card. They have 5 cards in hand, and we're about to have 6 with an additional land in play. We'll be up 2 cards, it feels like. Oh no, they give us Vine Wall and Tatiova. That's certainly bold. Yeah, I mean, no attacks. We're gonna make them do the thing. Ooh, well they have a good card. That is a pretty good one. Of course we also have that card, so I don't feel like it's a 100% bad situation for me to be in. Will they enlist? No? Yes? Yes, they will. Yeah. I will not block. We'll just go to my turn. And I'll play out a 2/4, which blocks this board relatively well. It does look like we're going to take some damage on the backswing from the Llanowar Green Warden, but I don't really have a reason to, or a way to stop that. Now what I would not like to see is some kind of incredibly good way to deal with my Nael, because then I'm just facing down a lot of damage. I can definitely get out aggroed here if my opponent has like removal spell or a good combat trick. But if they're just going to attack for the 4, I will definitely just take 4. Okay, so attack with this means they do have something. Question is, what is it, and can I afford to just block anyway? I think I do necessarily need to block here. So we will block here. And I don't think putting the additional block in with the snare spinner does anything for me, so I will not do it. Gaia's Might, +2/+2? Yeah, so we would not have been served by putting the snare spinner in front of it as well. Although it wouldn't have gotten necessarily blown out, it wouldn't have done anything for us. Then a Flowstone Kavu. Yeah, we're kind of under the gun now. We need to start casting spells and putting things into play that matter. If I get exactly untapped green source, I could play the Vine Wall as well as the Tatiova. But I think a better pathway to victory is getting value out of my Vortuk and getting like Nael back or something. So we're going to play out this thing. Then we're going to play out the Tatiova. And hopefully their last 2 cards are not absolute stone cold bombs. The question is, what do our blocks look like this turn? And frankly, the blocks do not look good. We're in a rough spot. We also need to draw untapped land exactly to make the Vortuk plan work. Okay, oh, really? Well, that's definitely not as bad for me. So what we can do is, if they want to spend all their mana pumping this, getting us for 4. We're just going to block here. Yeah. Alright. They don't want to deal us the damage, which means they have a follow-up. Elfheim Worm is not very good for me, I'll admit that. Timely Interference is not a bad card, but the problem is we just don't have a way to get that value right now. So we're kind of priced into a situation where we have to cast the Tsar, and I can't even cast the Tsar. I don't have the white mana available. Yikes. Yeah, we'll play out the Vine Wall. I tapped the wrong mana. Not terribly important, but it did suck. Yeah, I guess we'll take a basic swamp here. We don't need any more white mana than we have. I don't know. We'll take a basic plains, I don't know. Then we can just pass turn again. At this point, things are not looking very good. We have kind of a miserable situation here, where we're kind of forced to block the Flowstone Kavu. Ooh, and they're even attacking with that. That's kind of the state of affairs, isn't it? So we're taking 1, 2, 3. Oof. Okay, so what must our blocks necessarily be? Because right now I don't think we have any kind of choices. Maybe we should have just cashed in the Timely Interference to search for another 2-drop. Probably. I did forget that it draws a card. Actually, I think we're dead just no matter what. We block this, we're getting dealt lethal off the pump. If we block this, we're getting dealt lethal off this. So we block here. Or rather, we block here. And then we block here. We're taking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we're just dead on board. Understandable. Well, that didn't go very well. In order to be in the money, we need to win this next match to ensure that we're going to be able to draft again. So that would be pretty cool. And we were even on the play in that game. Things just didn't really shape up in the way that we were hoping they would. So the format can definitely be fast, and I guess red-green is definitely one of the decks that can punish you for just not having, like, really good 2, really good 3, stuff like that. Just kind of sputtered around, played around too much. Also, that definitely showcased the power of Enlist. The Steel Crusher ape, or whatever it's called, definitely pulled its own weight there, getting to pump itself up and attack. Of course, we didn't do ourselves any favors by not really having the kind of 2-drop that can block that very well. We kind of had the 2 that couldn't block it at all, and then a bunch of other cards that we didn't want to trade for it. But that's neither here nor there. If we could go back and get the exact cards we wanted, I'm sure the deck would be practically unbeatable, but that's not how Limited works. We're going to go ahead and give it a pause now, until we reach the next game. Alright, we're back for another game, and we have lost the dice roll, but what we do have is a hand that can cast a Floriferous Vine Wall and a couple of Snare Spinners, and then a Bortuk, as well as a Magnagoth Sentry. We will keep it. It's not really ideal. We're kind of leaning hard on the Floriferous Vine Wall, but I've definitely done crazier things. And we do draw just a second forest, which, although it's not really the best land for us to draw, it's definitely better than not drawing a land at all. Now there's a real question of whether or not we're playing out the Snare Spinner or just the Vine Wall. With them not pressuring us with a 2-drop, I think I'm currently on the Vine Wall plan. and see if we can get ourselves some more basic land types. Radiant Grove is not really what I'm looking for, but it is a land, and it's the only one we can choose. So we're just going to take that, pass the turn. Okay, maybe they'll have something this turn. What do we got? Balduvian Atrocity. Does have Menace, but it's far from an incredibly good card. Idyllic Beachfront. Well, we're not really casting anything else this turn, are we? Nope. We're still missing a black source for the Vortic, but that's okay. Just gonna play out a Snare Spinner, pass the turn, be pretty happy with our lives. Okay, they're going to get three. Look at 3 cards here. Put 2 of them into their hand. It's pretty good. I would like some card advantage. Unfortunately, that's not on the menu right now. Yeah, I don't think I'm blocking here. We'll just go to my turn. And do we attack? Yeah, I guess. I mean, we're not blocking, are we? I just feel like a block goes so horribly for us, and I don't really feel like missing out on the damage. So yeah, we'll just bash in. They're going to declare no blockers, who would have guessed? Then we'll just play out 4/4. The next turn we'll play out a 3/4 flyer. And see how long my opponent can stand the onslaught of good cards. Well, we don't only really have the 2, and we can't even cast the 1, but, you know, that's okay. Creature or Planeswalker? Well, that's pretty good, I guess. That's a pretty good rare. Oh, and it also just gets back my Bortuk or my Shalai's Acolyte. That's kind of disgusting, to be honest. Yeah. Just a free 3/4 flyer that they take from my hand, and they also get to just tutor from their deck. Yeah, it's not very good for me. We do have the Haunted Mire, that's the good news. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can't actually be punished with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to attack with the Snare Spinner and the Magnagoth Sentry. If they do not block, then they're going to get punished pretty hard. They are going to block there, which is fine. We're going to play out the Haunted Mire, which gives us access to the full 5 to get back this next turn. Then we're just going to play a Snare Spinner out. And everything's looking pretty good. It turns out we get to turn off the Cruelty of Gix using our Bortuk. Why they didn't take the Bortuk out is beyond me. I guess they figured we wouldn't draw exactly a black source, but we did. And we have all of our basic land types, don't we? White, blue, black, red, green, yeah. They can't do this unless they have some kind of magical way to put a lore counter on it, or take an extra turn or something. So, yeah. This definitely wasn't good for me. It hurt. Not gonna lie. I would have liked to have played my 3/4 and just had it die, but that's okay. Wow, that's pretty bad for me. Now I need to draw exactly untapped land, otherwise they're just gonna get back my Shalai's Acolyte. It's pretty awful. So my opponent played draw 2, as well as a another basically draw 2, as well as a mind rot effect. Yeah, not really the best for me. That is not an untapped land, sadly. So they are going to get my Shali's Acolyte, unfortunately. Question is, what am I doing about it? Guess I'm just attacking. They are at a relatively low life total. And this is kind of a free roll attack, since the Balduvian Atrocity is a pretty bad card. What you got? Bite down. Yeah, that's not really gonna do it. We'll just do it, but back. Yeah, please take 6 damage. Now they're at 4, and they are going to get back the Shalai, unfortunately. But, like, it's not like that just wins them the game or anything. They are at 4 life. They have to play pretty defensively here. Problem is they have 5 cards to do it with. This game could very easily get out of my hands. Yeah. Jeez. Phyrexian Ranger. Okay, I mean, they're drawing a lot of cards, filtering through a shitload of them. There are 21 cards in deck, I'm at 25. That is pretty rough. Viashino Branch Rider. No kicker? Okay. You say so, buddy. Well, we are going to attack with the Magnagoth Sentry here, and see what they have to say about it. We have really good blocks on the Shalai's Acolyte, so they do necessarily need to block. They're just going to free roll the block with that, and I don't... Ooh, actually, the more I think about it, the more keeping the cards in my hand is a shitty idea. I know we have the Bortuk in hand. Do we just play it out as a 4-4? There's no way that's right. Yeah, I guess we have to just put ourselves vulnerable to the Mind Rot. Because if they're casting the Mind Rot, they're not casting something else that can block, I guess. I mean, I definitely feel like we're just going to get Mind Rotted again and I'm going to be miserable. Garna? Yeah. Garna's fine. They can't attack with the Shalai's Acolyte. That's the good news for me. That's pretty good. That's actually a fine card. I can cast it. Yeah, we're gonna attack again. Seems like they might have something in hand. We're gonna block with a Garna. That's fine with me. We're just gonna cast the Bortuk. Green. Yes, please. I would love to get back a 4-4 for free. And thankfully we didn't get punished. It feels like this game is ours now. There's definitely cards that... 1 plus the number... Yeah, 1 plus 3. That is in fact 4. Ugh. The rare board wipe into a 4-5. Okay. Understandable. Well, we draw a tribute to Urborg, which we can cast. How many instants and sorceries do we have in my graveyard? We have the Bite Down. It's -3, -3. Yeah, we are going to cast it with Kicker. We're going to go get a, I don't know, white source? Black source. Yeah. So now it's going to be -4, -4. Cult Conscript. Okay. Llanowar Green Widow's a very good card. The question is, do we get them with the Tribute to Urborg? Is it creature cards in your graveyard? Okay. Um, we're going to right-click attack all. They understand that they must necessarily block, which is fine by me. Let me make sure this does what I think it does. -2/-2, plus -1/-1 for each instant and sorcery. We have Bite Down, as well as Scout the Wilderness. So that is -4/-4, which means this should die. We do it after combat, so they can't blow us out with a removal spell specifically. But now we're just going to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to play out the Green Widow. And pass turn. I didn't want to have my token die, but okay, that's enough for them. We win, we are 5-2, we are in the money, we have won back our draft, and I'm feeling good. Now, I think I already elucidated a little bit, but if I went for the combat trick and shrunk their thing to an 0-1, and they had a removal spell, they keep their creature, and I just get blown out horribly. I do trade my card for their removal spell, but more important is the board presence, and if I have to trade my 1/1 token for the absolute possibility of them not getting their creature back, that's definitely worth it. Well, I'll see you in the 6th potential win, possibly. The 8th game. Yeah, that was actually a pretty insane game for my opponent. I mean, they had a, they searched their deck for the best card in it. They got back a flyer that they pulled out of my hand. They mind rotted me. And then they had a draw too. But it just was not enough. Pretty crazy that we managed to pull that one out. We are back and we have lost the dice roll once more. Let's see if we can keep a 7-card hand. Well, now that I've said something, it's all but impossible. They're going to blow a good 30 seconds on deciding whether or not they're going to play first. I expect that they will, but maybe they have a lot of removal and some good late game stuff. Yeah, we have a green source and a Floriferous Vine Wall, and we're only one blue source away from casting the Vohar, so I think I will keep it. We also have our Planeswalker to kind of maybe smooth out my draw if I end up with a turn 3 untapped anything source. I was about to say, did they have a 1-drop they were looking to cast there? We will play out the Sunlit Marsh first. We did draw a Swamp, which means we do in fact have a turn 3 Ajani, if we want it. The question is, do we want it? And I think the answer is no. Not right now, anyway. Yeah, this is looking like a game where Ajani's going to need to be something I'm casting after the fact. It's probably the best 2 they could have played here. Good in the early game, only gets better as time goes on. Well, I can't block it if they just go to attacks. So I think the play is necessarily the Vine Wall. We have black, white, and green for my types here. So I guess we're going to look for... what do we got? We have blue, red, black, green, which I already have, and a basic forest. So we're just going to take the Molten Tributary, play that out next turn as well as a Snare Spinner. They can attack us for some... They're going to attack us for a little bit here. It's fine with me. Going to be taking 2 attacks from this. Not very, very happy about it, but then we get to play a Magnagoth Sentry, and then we have all of our basic land types already in play. Yeah, no blocks. I think we'll save that for a bigger creature. I have no doubt. Oh, really? That's great news for me. I mean, if their whole turn is just pump into that, then I'm very happy. Um, Here is an interesting thing. I think I actually just play this out. If there's a way that we can tribute to Urborg and just get them, then like this could definitely turn around the game for me. There's ways that it goes wrong, like specifically a combat trick for a single mana, but like this could also go very right for me. Yeah, what you got? Not exactly right for me. I mean, surely they don't pump twice. If they do, I'm still happy because, like, that is their whole last turn. But now we can tribute to Urborg if they don't have, like, a good way to... Griffin Protector. Yeah, I think we are just going to let that slide. But we're going to cast this and target this, because it's just a clean way to get it off the battlefield right now. Okay, now we have a Tatiova, which we can't cast, and a Magnagoth Sentry. We can play a Vohar as well as a Snare Spinner this turn, and I think that is going to be my play. Play out the Snare Spinner first. Blue and black left up for Vohar. That's a pretty solid blocker for the Griffin Protector, and if for some reason it turns out that that's like not good enough, we do have the Sentry in the back pocket. I mean, they have 4 cards in hand. I have to imagine at least one of them is some kind of combat trick here, which means if they just go to attacks, we are going to block. Better to get the Snare Spinner hit with it than something else. This looks like a creature, but what kind? Another Griffin Protector. It's definitely not good for me, that's for sure. Yeah. It's actually decidedly awful for me. But we do have stuff to do. And if we ever get this Tatiova online, like 3/3 flyers are not free to just plow through with these things. They only have so many creatures to play to pump these things up. Yeah, no blocks. End turn. Okay, we did not draw a 5th land, but I don't think that matters here. I think we are going to draw and discard. We'll discard Scout. Not only does it gain us some life, but... oh. Damn. I think we still discard the Scout, just to get that life gain. We'll play out a Sentry. Now we have some pretty okay blocks. They are necessarily forced into either playing 2 creatures, in which case we still have a double block, or using a combat trick. Hopefully this Vohar does something for us. There is a world where we can eventually kill one of these things with the Vohar. Sure. Not really what I was hoping to see, but it is just a 3/3. Yeah. Are they just gonna name Ajani? They might just be afraid of the Ajani here. That is a good card. I mean, I might have cast it next turn, even with the 2 life, and just put counters on my stuff. They only have 2 cards in hand. And I have to wonder if they're good or if they're not very good. They have 6 lands. They've drawn more lands than I have. They do choose Ajani, which is fine. Wasn't really on the Ajani plan yet. Okay, they're gonna do that. That's fine. They're gonna get another couple of triggers. And we're gonna double block one of those Griffins. And they have 1 card left in hand. What you got? Swing both? Yep. Fine by me. We will double block. They'll kill a Magnagoth Sentry, which is fine. Alright. We draw an island, which is a card. That is a card we can play at least. We can play out the Tsar, where we're just taking potentially 3 in the air again. Do we loot? Do we loot away the Elfheim Druid worm, rather? Or do we just loot away the Ajani? I think we loot away the Ajani. Okay, I mean, someday we'll loot away the Ajani, probably. Yeah, I think this turn we're gonna play the Tsar. Come on. Opponent deep in the tank here, I guess. Anything? No, nothing in chat. The disconnect? Is that a thing that pops up? Yeah, no. Oh, okay. We draw a timely interference? Can we find a way to make that work? Not currently, but there's definitely a chance that in a future turn we could get there. Yeah, I have to imagine there's a way that we can make that work someday. But for now, we'll just play out the card we can obviously play. They have 1 card in hand. Like, there's definitely a world where we lose this game. They have like another creature, they just play it out and it blows me to hell. But there's also a world where we win this. And part of the pathway is these 2 cards not being incredibly good. If they have a creature, it's super duper easy, they just play it and attack. Well, they do have a creature, so taking another 3, and they have a menace creature no less, which is very bad for me, as you can imagine. Last thing I want to see in their hand is a combat trick. Let's see. Oh, they are going to attack with all of these things. So, are we blocking with the Floriferous Vine Wall? I think the answer is yes. I think we're blocking the Argivian Phalanx. And then we'll block the Argivian Peacekeeper with Tsar. Look, I'm well beyond being able to survive some kind of like mass pump. This looks like the one that targets 2 creatures and gives them like +3 like +2/+2 or something. But I'm never beating that card anyway, I just don't have the tools. I guess there's a world where we can untap and like force them to block with the Griffin if they don't attack with it. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have too many options here. I just have to go for the block that makes the most sense. So if they do have specifically the +2/+2 card, I do get to kill the Anointed Peacekeeper. So I think we do this. And that looks like the card that they have. But who knows? I mean, the attack with the 3/3 doesn't make much sense unless they specifically have something. And I don't know what the thing they could have is, but that's the first card that popped into my head when they had 3 mana left over. We're just going to submit the blocks. They're going to kill my 3/3. But it trades for their 4/4. And now, or their 3/3. Artillery Blast my Vohar. Yeah, that's it. Definitely not ideal. I don't know why they didn't attack with the Griffin Protector. So, what could change my plans next turn? can't be Vortic, because I can't cast a Vortic right now. I don't think anything changes my plans. I think my plan is probably just play out the Elfheim Worm. They have 0 cards in hand here. Does leave us taking some serious damage on the ground, but like, they don't really have the best attacks in the world. And I can just block the Flowstone Kavu. Take 6. Ooh, drawing that was very good for me. Now we can play out the Elfheim Worm and keep up the timely interference. Elfhame Wormo. And then pass turn. The Worm Boy coming in hot. And we do have to find a way to deal with this Griffin Protector, but if we draw a land, we actually get to do Tatiova things. So we're kind of cooking here. We're kind of cooking. We're doing stuff that's not bad. There's definitely a route to victory. I can see it. I can visualize it. I can almost taste it. Just need them to miss a little bit. So we're going to block the Flowstone Kavu, because it is the most annoying and difficult thing for us to deal with. And we only get the choice of blocking one creature anyway. We're kind of leaving ourselves dead to a combat trick no matter what we do. If it's a big enough combat trick, like the +2/+2 one, we'll do it no matter what. Because I give this up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If they pump it as well. So we are going to try and get rid of this. If what they have is removal spell, I go to blocks, then I still get to kill the Kavu here. They're going to pump it up to a 4 power creature, and then I'm going to timely interference it, and hopefully the results will be nice. I'm going to get my card back either way. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Maybe they just pay triple red. That would be fine with me. Resolute reinforcements. Yuck. That is pretty much the most miserable thing I can see right now. That really hurts. Yeah. I can't really do anything about it, and it only means I'm taking 8 here, but I am at literally, like, 1 life. And although if I do draw the 7th land, I do get to play the Tatiova and make a 3/3 flyer. And we do have 2 chances at that draw. So we're still not 0% to win this game. We're just heavily disadvantaged. We know what their last card is, so we're going to get to kill the Kavu for free and keep both of our creatures. That's really good. We definitely needed that to happen. We're going to just cast this now. Think. We draw a 4/4 reach creature, which is good. It's not enough. We do need the land. We draw the land. Okay, okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Play out the Tatiova. Control 7 or more lands. And I will control 7 or more lands when this comes into play. Well, when the Radiant Grove comes into play. Alright, we'll play out a land. And we will make our basic swamp into a land. Or do we make the Molten Tributary? Or the Sunlit Marsh? We do have black and white. Yeah, we'll just do the swamp. Okay, now we're stable on board right now. We're at exact parity. We cannot attack. Oh, we could have attacked with the Elfheim Worm. We probably should have. Less creatures on board for them is necessarily good for me. A haste creature kills me. Any kind of way to make their creature unblockable kills me. We're in a pretty tough spot, that's for damn sure. We do have the Urborg Repossession that will gain us 3 life. But this is definitely a hard-fought game. I mean, wow. Down to 1 life. Draw the exact land, or just any land. What are the attacks looking like? Really? Okay, well. We are going to block. Did they draw another flash thing? Or did they just not know that my land has flying? What's this? Danitha? Okay. It does have first strike, and that's pretty bad for me. But like, it's far away from killing me. It's just a good card. We'll do this, 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 and I don't know, this, I guess. We can't really attack through it right now, and then we'll just play out an idyllic beachfront and turn my forest into a 3/3 flyer. Then we're going to attack with one of them in the air, because I don't think there's anything with flying and haste, but one of the ways that I lose this game is being attacked with something that has flying and haste. So we're just going to bink them for 3. Pass turn. And the time is going to come when we're going to be able to turn this Tsar sideways and just kill them on the spot. It might actually be next turn if we draw a land. Don't know what this is, but it doesn't seem good for me. Argivian Phalanx. That's fine. So if we draw a land, we have 12 power in the air, and they have to block every creature on the ground, but they have enough there to do that. Threats undetected? Okay. Sure. We'll cast the threats undetected any day of the week, buddy. Yeah. I do think we spend this mana. Yeah, I'll take my draw 2. We have another Vine Wall in the deck, so like... Oh, that's just enough. That's just enough for them. They don't even know what's in the deck. They don't even want to look at the cards that I'm getting off of it. That is just enough for them to concede. You know what? I accept. I'm at 1 life, but they're just not about it. Pretty good. We're 6 wins, 2 losses deep. This last one for the money. This has definitely been a wild one. See, threats undetected is so good. When you cast it, your opponent just concedes. For all they knew, I had like only 3 possible creatures to go get. And I only had like 3 mana left over. Like, I guess I could go get the Sojourner, and that's pretty good. I definitely picked this, no, I think I picked the Phalanx, honestly. No, Sojourner's definitely better. Ooh, what are we looking at? We're looking at 4 basic land types. Tatiova's pretty far away, but we have a Tsar that we can cast someday. And a Yavimaya Sojourner we can cast if we draw 1 land. But we are on the draw. That's okay, though. I feel good about this so far. Yeah, that's fine. Now this is much worse. I think this is the much worse version of Floriferous Vine Wall. Okay, basic forest is fine. Definitely not upset about it. Chandra 0815. I guess all the previous ones, including Chandra 0814, were taken. Okay, yeah, they're just gonna crack that at the end of my turn, I suppose. Another forest, not really the land we're looking for, but all things considered, it's not bad. It will enable us to cast the Tatiova. And at this point, we're looking at actually getting the Tatiova second half, eventually. Alright, here we are. Reveal the top 5. Well, they do hit a land. That's the good news for them. And they also get a Phyrexian Espionage that goes to the bottom in a random order. Well, yeah, I think maybe it would have been good for me if they had just drawn a bunch of lands. Interesting. I don't really know what this means, but I have to imagine it means... fuck, what is the card? Essence Scatter. So we're just going to play out a Radiant Grove, probably. Because this is what? It's 8 mana minus 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we play this out, we still can't cast it. Play out the Radiant Grove. Go ahead and attack for 1. I don't think there's anything with Flash I'm not remembering. Yeah. We have reasons to be slow, they don't. Only reason they have to be slow is playing reactive spells. And if they're content to just do nothing, we can wait till the turn where they decide to do something, and then just start to pop off. We'll play out a Swamp here, and be at exactly 5 basic land types. We'll attack with a Snare Spinner again, I think. Do we play any of my things? I don't think we do. I mean, there's just so much value in waiting. We have the 7th land for the Tatyova if it resolves. We have a Yavimaya Sojourner we can cast for 3 mana. Yeah, our hand's just so good right now. And if they're not going to do anything to pressure us, well, we're going to punish them big time. Slimefoot Survey. Onto the battlefield tapped, huh? Okay. We have 5 lands here. A good 2-drop would be nice to see. I would like a good 2-drop. That'd be cool. Okay, looks like they're on 4 colors. Similar to me, except seems they don't have as much stuff to do on the low end. What's the best card we can play out next turn? It's probably just the Tsar. Because if Tsar gets to turn sideways, we just go nuts. Ooh, yeah, there's a Snare Spinner. So with that in mind, I think the plays actually play out the Sojourner as well as another Snare Spinner. Think just a casual 3 mana 4/6, and then we'll play out another Snare Spinnerino. We have 5 lands in play. Next turn we can play out the Tsar. And if they have a way to interact with it, so be it. Yeah, they do get some card selection off the Slimefoot Survey. Probably just put the lands on the bottom. Okay, so do nothing here is very interesting. I have no idea what's going on inside their hand, but I have to imagine that doing nothing is not the right play. Yeah, we're just going to attack all here. I have no idea what's going on. What's this? Urtai? Sure. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Destroy my thing. Block one of my dudes. Another Tatyova, huh? Sure. I mean, that's a good play. They still have a way to get there with a blue source left over. But I think since I have 2 Tatyovas, I don't mind that so bad. But do I just play out the Tsar here? Yeah, I think I do. What you got? Essence Scatter? Opponent over here playing rares. I'm just on commons, buddy. Commons and uncommons, that's all. Okay, they didn't counter it. That's fine with me, because next turn, if they don't have a counterspell again, I just start getting there with my Tatiova plan. I could play out the Tatiova and keep the Vine Wall for next turn. No matter how I swing it, I'm not going to get the double Tatiova to work. I'm never going to get those 2 tokens in 1 turn. What do we have here? I guess I'm done with that. Tolarian Terror, sure. That does just trade with my Tsar if I attack with it, which I think I may do. Yeah, we'll play this out and see what happens. Priority over. Oh, okay. We just get it? Sure. We'll turn it into a flyer. I don't really need the planes that bad right now. Do we just cast the Floriferous Vine Wall now? Do we attack with this? It does say each creature you control with toughness less than. And we have white, blue, black, red, green. So we'll put 1 on Tsar, as well as all of my other creatures. I think we play out the Floriferous Vine Wall first. See if we hit that land. Not only does this just get us another counter, but it also incentivizes them to deal with the Tatiova. And since we have another one in hand, well, we know how well that goes for us. We'll just turn this sideways here. Yeah. Feel free to block, buddy. They will block. Do they have a way to blow me out here? They will not block. Okay. Yeah, I have nothing else. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty okay. Leaving the planes at home, I guess I just made a mistake. I definitely should have attacked with it. There's definitely ways that they punish me for this. Rona's Vortex on my Tatiova. Sure. It does go on the bottom, it doesn't shuffle in. So when I play another one next turn, I might see some serious tilt from my opponent. Also, if they don't have a counterspell, we are going to be attacking for 9 in the air. The Tsar is just like doing the work right now. Tsar is definitely a strong card. Like, the card is no joke. If you just give me infinity time to set up with it, it will just take away the game. You can't just give me infinite time. Tolarian Terror is also just not very good in some decks. Like, this one seems like it's trying to tilt towards domain control. But the problem is with domain control, control's not very good. We'll turn a forest. Yeah, we'll go to combat. Dink, dink, and bink. I don't get another counter on my Tsar, but you know what I do get? 9 power in the air. And a 5/5 still on the ground. They could easily have something here that punishes me for the Tsar, but like, I don't even think it matters at this point. Every land I draw is another 3/3 flyer. We already have a 4/4 and a 5/5 in the air. 3/5 on the ground, that becomes a 5/5 if a creature with flying attacks me. They're just gonna throw an Urtai in front of that dude and go to 2 life. Yeah, no reason to do anything else. Not that we could. Yeah, that's enough for them. They've seen enough. So we've won 2 drafts here. That's pretty cool. We also have gotten some sealed product and 2 qualifier points. Pretty happy with that one. Got the old 7 wins, 2 losses. Just skirting in under the loss limit. Fran MTG was actually the person we lost to in one of our games. So them being at the top of the leaderboard is actually pretty cool. Feels like an earned loss, like I don't feel so bad about it. Well, this has been Robot Rallis. I really hope that you consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. I've had a lot of fun with this draft, and I'm probably going to do another one before the night is done. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good night.